And we're live. Look, this is right here. We are live.
Okay, good.
Welcome, everybody. It is Thursday, February 6th, and it is 10:30.
Let's get the year in there because this is going to be everlasting.
That's right. It's an evergreen conversation.
Yes.
Anyway, we are excited because we have some cool things to share with you guys in regards to what Dr. Aristotle does and bringing CBD into his practice and the testing that we did on this perfect body. And obviously you'll see from the results how perfect I am. Tammy, I keep telling Tammy over the years, babe, I'm perfect. And she's like, show me, prove it to me. So I did.
We have proof now.
Yes. Boom, boom, boom. So what's up, everybody? Good morning. You know the rules of Facebook, right? This is a Facebook Live. The rules are very simple. You're going to tag somebody. You're going to share this with somebody, whoever needs this information. Maybe they could be struggling with all kinds of or very little physical items. Our goal is to get the message out to people as to what's possible in his practice and the Eastern/Meridian world, and we'll have CBD plays a part of that. And then you tag somebody, share somebody, hit all the heart buttons because Facebook algorithm needs it. And then, of course, I'm going to ask you guys questions. Comments are very, very, very important to the algorithm. More importantly, we want to have a conversation. We don't want to talk at you. We want to have a conversation. And last but not least, you want to do a watch party because watch parties give you credibility. They make you the expert. And this way you can have a conversation about this topic with your audience, and it's going to be fun.
Now, how's everybody going to see the results? How do they access the results of what we did?
Oh, I'm going to show them. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Oh, I have. There's so much going on.
You're a step ahead of me.
I think so.
Ready.
So, welcome, people. Who do we have here? We got Brian Kane. What's up, Brian? Tarifa, Hyro, Kai, Cindy, Edward. What's up? We got some cool people here. It's going to be it's a party. That's the point. It's a party, and it's going to get going. With that said, you guys know this is part of the Hempworx show / podcast soon, and this will happen every single Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, unless, of course, I'm traveling, and then we'll adjust here and there just a little bit. Like today, I'm going to Napa, and so we moved up the time just a tad.
What are you going to do in Napa?
Drink. Oh, okay. Here's the doctor. Here we go. What? Let's go. What's wrong with that?
Okay, you're gonna have a nice time. I'm still gonna be here.
Yeah. But I'll send you pictures.
I appreciate it.
Okay. I'll send you all my results. So let's do this. First of all, let me introduce Dr. Aristotle. So about 23, 24 years ago, I was in Beverly Hills doing some stuff. This is after I owned my restaurant in Hollywood, and I was doing some stuff in Beverly Hills, and he was opening up an office upstairs in Beverly Hills on Bedford, and we got to meet. Boom, boom. He's Greek. I'm Romanian, so of course we shared feta cheese. It was a commonality. It's like, hey, you like feta? I like feta.
That was it.
And here we are, 23 years later. So we got to meet. He is a genius in his knowledge of medicine. We'll talk about that in a minute. But then we became extremely close friends, and we've traveled, and we've done some really cool things together. And his story, though, of struggle, of health, of rebuilding himself is really, really amazing. So I guess today I do want to go into that,
okay.
Literally what you went through and how you're alive today. Is that cool? Can we do that?
Absolutely.
So without further ado, boom, the badass one and only Dr. Aristotle.
I've been in practice for a number of years.
Tell him.
2006, I started stumbling. I started not feeling that well, a little bit of weakness. And within 2 or 3 months, I was completely paralyzed. I could move my fingers a little bit, move my eyes. That's it. I was in the hospital 72 days. I was told there's nothing more to be done for me.
Wow.
And I was sent home in an electric wheelchair. My life was turned upside down. And here I am in the integrative medicine field. And
that's crazy.
I really just was starting from ground zero. And it took a little bit of insight. It took a little bit of depression. It took a little bit of everything to get myself back to where I needed to be.
Yep.
And you'll see in some of the meridian tests, these are some of the things that brought a little bit of everything. I'm commonly asked, what exactly did you do? And it's a number of things. It's not just one thing. So here I am today, back where I need to be. I wrote a book about my experience to help other people to go through chronic illness and they don't have anywhere else to turn.
Interesting.
And so we thought maybe let's see how CBD works with this meridian system.
Yep.
The energetics of the body, the internal system. And the testing had never been done before. I didn't know what the results would be because, again, the energetics of the body is what allows us to heal. If that imbalance occurs, then we have negative health results. Meridians course through the organ system. They course through every part of the body. And we can measure that now. And by measuring it, we can see what progress is being made with whatever treatment is being integrated into the system.
So you did your studies in China.
Yes.
But there was no coronavirus back then. Sorry. I'm not laughing at that. I just thought it would be
okay,
a joke.
That was a good segue. Yes.
Okay. So China, why did you choose to go to school in China as opposed to a Chinese school here?
Well, when I went to China, it was we were guests of the Chinese Ministry of Health. And it was more of, I wanted to see the foundation of where it all started.
Okay.
And we were in the hospitals. It was a group of doctors. And we treated every possible condition you can imagine, from lung issues to breast cancer to all types of healing modalities. And what's interesting is it's integrated. Everybody integrates with what's needed. There is no, this is only good for that or this for that. Everything is tried.
Right.
And the patient has choices. And those choices can be herbal, nutritional. They can be medication, whatever the patient wants. The doctor asks, what would you like? And there's one pharmacy for herbs. There's one pharmacy for medicine. So it's choice.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So as we have this conversation, you guys, any question that pops up for you, drop it down. Please don't ask for cures like, hey, will this cure that? Let's not go there because there's obviously terms and FDA stuff. Let's not do it. But any questions you have in regards to what the practice does and what Eastern medicine is all about, and of course the meridian system.
It's a process.
Got it. Well, just like illnesses.
Yes.
Like nobody gets sick overnight.
There's something that, well, there's something that, there you go again. You're coming back right.
Too soon?
So, you know, usually when there's an illness, something led up to it. It seems like it was acute. It seems like it happened all of a sudden, but there's generally that emotional component, and stress is the root cause of a lot of illness. And unless we can calm the system down and balance it and have more harmony, and that's where the CBD is coming into play, because that's allowing for more harmony in the system. So
you've never personally or in the business used CBD until very recent, call it a month and a half.
Right.
And then you and I did a test on my body without CBD and then CBD. So let's go there for a minute, because obviously we're going to show the results. We're going to talk about it, but, or maybe no, we do it after the, so here's what happened. Let me tell all y'all a story. And I think most of you already know the story. I went off CBD, completely, like CBD coffee, CBD lotion, CBD oil. I stopped it for about a week, right? So was there some residual CBD in my system? I'm sure, yeah, there's some level, but then I went off for a week. We did a test, and his test is this meridian system that measures 12 different points on the human body, which measures electrical conductivity.
Yes.
Right? God, that was a big word. And the conductivity will give you a level of good or bad, right? And so we did a test before or without CBD in my system, and then 6 days later, we did another test with CBD in my system. Excuse me. So check this out. This is what it looked like. So the upper graph is the before, and the bottom graph is the after. And this is my point about being perfect. I had to show Tammy proof Perfect. Now I'll let you talk about.
So the other graph on January 21st, we're looking for a balance, and balance shows up in a green bar graph. The meridian system, as I've mentioned before, is like tuning in a radio. If the radio signal is too high one direction or too low, you have imbalance. The radio is not broken, but it has to do with the balance itself. As you take a look at the graph, you see the splits in purple. You see the meridians running too high in red, and you see a meridian that's deficient in blue. Again, the goal is green. And you look on the 27th, we did a follow-up graph, all green with the exception of one meridian system, which is amazing. And when you see these types of changes, that means the meridian system has been affected as a result of something that was done. And it's incredible to see such a strong result in graph 1 and graph 2. And again, the scoring system for this is we're looking for the harmony in the system, because when that CBD went into the body, in this case, it created harmony. When you create harmony, your body now has the chance to heal. It has a chance to be more balanced to deal with whatever disease process is occurring. Did CBD directly affect the meridian system? Absolutely. Is this going to affect the healing? Absolutely. So here you have CBD. We did the meridian graph. The system started becoming more in harmony or harmonious, balancing the energetics, and then now the body can definitely heal.
Hello.
Where did you go?
Oh, so far.
I
went to Napa.
You cut your back already?
Oh, private jets are amazing. All right, so explain. So we're looking at the graph. And I know you told me that even though, for example, something's called lung, you're not necessarily measuring the lung. You're measuring that.
You'll see each meridian system. For example, you'll see LU, which is lung, pericardium, heart, large intestine, spleen, liver, kidney, bladder, and so forth, stomach. These meridians course through those organ systems, but they eventually course through other parts of the body. So here in North America, we have to name them something, and that's how they're identified. It's through what organ they course through. Does that mean there's something wrong with the organ? Possibly.
Okay.
Okay. Because if the meridian's out of balance, it's going to register on the graph. So when you have an imbalanced meridian, you're actually having physiological change in the body, which physiological change can be a health condition where we can see something that is going to occur because it hasn't quite happened yet, but it's showing up in the meridian system.
Tell me something, because my upper graph is, it's got red and purple. Purples are splits, right?
Yeah, splits. Splits are the worst case scenario. When you have a lot of splits, it's like having a feather on one side of the body and a bowling ball on the other side of the body.
Interesting. I feel like that a lot. Now, so for most people that are suffering with some kind of, I don't want to throw out any kind of a label, but anybody suffering with some kind of a
negative health problem.
That's good. This guy, he's amazing. So what do you typically see? Because like you told me about a patient of yours that would come and go get this treatment, and then you would have to test him, and his graphs would be way out of whack. And then you would treat him, give him your stuff, and then he'd be all better. And then he'd go get that treatment for his condition from Western medicine again.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, what we do is we integrate in that particular scenario.
Okay.
Is we see the meridian graph, we see what's imbalanced, and it's like tuning in the radio. There's certain buttons on the body, points, that we can stimulate. There's some nutritional, herbal, now CBD, that we can apply to the system, because again, we need to create more harmony in the energetics of the body. And when we do this, that's when the healing process starts. And you start releasing that healing, because healing comes from the inside out, not from the outside in. By applying the CBD oil, you're changing what's going on inside of the body.
You're changing what? I guess that's what I want to know. Like, how the heck did CBD do this in 6 days? Like this graph.
You're affecting the meridian system, the energetics. It's calming and harmonizing the system. In terms of the science behind it, I have no idea how that's working. And this is why it was such a shock.
Right.
And, CBD in terms of how new it is now.
Right.
I mean, it's been around for a long time, but being studied, and we're looking at it, and it's a whole another science.
Absolutely.
That's going to evolve. And this is one of the measuring methods. You did the thermography.
Oh, yeah.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
And we're starting to integrate these non-invasive diagnostics that really, really show
that's right,
the harmony in the system. And by applying the CBD, we're seeing great results. Imagine if CBD was integrated in these other types of modalities that are out there, the Eastern modalities.
What do you mean? Like what?
It can be acupuncture.
Oh, wow.
It can be chiropractic. It can be
got it.
Nutrition, homeopathics, all of these other integrated methods. Whereas we see, I see clinically results like this fast. Imagine integrating everything else.
Wow.
For these health conditions that are very, very strong. So, for example, when I'm seeing some of the more difficult cases, patients with cancer and some of these life-threatening issues.
I was trying to avoid that word, but
well, I'm seeing them clinically. And
that's the guy I was talking about that you were telling me about testing.
Yeah, and then the integration is amazing. Getting the CBD into the body.
Yep.
To what? Not to treat the cancer, no, but to treat the system, the energetics, to create more harmony. Because when we do that, the body responds more balance.
Amazing.
And that's what we measure.
So somebody here is saying, so August is saying healing from the inside out, not outside in, which is what we all talk about. If you don't go within, you go without. So are you saying that the human body naturally knows how to heal itself? It's that perfect?
It's that power that made the body heals the body.
Wow.
We tap into that power. What's doing the healing? Is it what you're taking doing the healing? Well, what you're taking is going to facilitate the healing.
But the body knows what to do.
Exactly. Especially when you have receptors. My gosh, these receptors weren't known years ago, specific for the CBD.
Interesting.
Which is fabulous.
Absolutely.
Okay, but then you integrate other types of care, because people say, oh, well, do you treat this? Do you treat that condition? Well, no. But I'm going to look for the imbalances in the system.
So the
and I'm going to treat the imbalances.
That's why he's who he is.
Because if we treat the imbalances with whatever is going to be in there and no side effects, what a fabulous, fabulous methodology. It's fantastic.
That is fantastic. So a couple of questions.
Yes.
Tarifa saying I think she's saying, where can we get this test done and how much? And I think Kai also had the same question. I need to make an appointment with him. Does he speak Mandarin? So first of all, do you speak Mandarin?
I do not.
Ni hao. Okay. Outside of that, so this test tell them about, I guess, your concierge service, and then tell them about your clinic.
Yeah, I have two types of services.
Can you scoot over just to? Hey.
Pushing me over.
We were out of balance, Tom.
There. See, we're bringing it back into balance.
Thank you.
And it's clear.
You put some CBD on it.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm just saying.
So two types of practices.
Yes.
One clinical and a concierge house call service. Times are changing. Everybody is so used to Amazon delivery.
Yep.
They want their healthcare delivered to their home.
Yep.
So there's two types of services. And fees vary depending on what's going to be done, what a person is looking for. The graphs, these meridian evaluations are done whether they're in a home or in the clinic. The clinic is here in Beverly Hills.
Yep.
And there's a website you can go to, draristotle.com, and you can get more details, more information, and then you can fill out a brief form in there to get more details. Because there's a process to go through. I've got to make sure that a health condition is a match for what we're doing. If it is a match, then we go from there. So it's more of an interview kind of application that we do. So
is your point that you're not throwing out any numbers here, like fees? And
no, everyone's condition is different.
Got it.
Everybody's, sometimes the consult will take more time because the medical history is more detailed.
All right, that's fair.
Thorough medical history and so forth.
I always love to just give some kind of a number. So I'm going to say, because the question was to get the actual test done, can we say the test is around $1,000?
Yeah, just under.
Okay.
Just under. Yeah, just
okay,
under.
so $999. I know him. Listen, it's $999. Just under, of course, because it's $9.99. Anyway, go to his website. I just put the website up here. It's draristotle.com.
Right.
You get information, etc. The Meridian. So August is saying there was another question. Hold on. Can you share the book where that's referenced? That would be great to read. I don't know what book you referenced.
The book. You can go on Amazon and just type in Dr. Aristotle. The name of the book is Change the Way You Heal. There's also links on my website to the book.
Okay, got it.
And it talks more about the Meridian system. It talks about what I did when I was going through the healing process. The question here, right there, this should be mandatory instead of vaccine flu shots.
Now we're starting shit. Good job, Tarifa. Yeah,
interesting.
Let's do it.
Interesting.
Let's start shit with the FDA.
I love green. That's good too, August. Okay.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, the vaccine world is... Gosh, I don't even know how to discuss it publicly without having Facebook have an issue with it, because they're actually censoring any anti-vaxxing.
We may not be able to watch this video. So
one day it will be, it's literally, so you guys will see anybody that's talking about or has groups or pages that are anti-vax.
Actually, I will say,
yes,
that is the #1 question. The most common question I get in the office deals with flu shots, vaccines.
Amazing.
And my answer is always the same. I say,
don't do it.
I say, well, actually, I ask to accept in terms of the research on both sides of the coin. There's plenty of research on both sides.
Okay.
Then make the decision. That's what I recommend.
So you want them to research. That's fair.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like,
yes, because there's two sides.
Oh, okay. So, you know, the biggest thing for me, vaccines, flu shots, same shit, right? Still a vaccine. The biggest thing for me is, do you know the ingredients? Look at the list of ingredients, because 90% of human beings have no clue what's inside.
So on that issue by itself, the ingredients, yes, I can comment on that.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, the mercury and so forth, they're trying to get that out of there. However, there's still aluminum. And some of the workshops and lectures that I've given, I talk about the aluminum and what it does. It irritates the immune system.
Yep.
It's a heavy metal. Now, the counter response to that is, there's not much in there. So again, you have to make your own decision. But we're digressing. Let's come back.
Well, no, we're having a conversation with our people. All right, so Edward is saying never took a flu vaccine. Can't remember the last time. Good job. Tarifa, who's the scientist or doctor that discovered this technology and when?
Which technology?
The Meridian test.
It was done.
Was it Shifu?
No.
It wasn't Shifu.
It was Dr. Nakatani
from
Japan.
I knew it.
And this is in the 60s, I believe. So if you Google that, you'll find more information.
So the technology is Japanese?
Yes.
And I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought it was Chinese. Okay, very cool. So you guys drop questions, any ideas, anything you want to know from the doctor. He's here for you. We're going to keep going for another 18 minutes or so because I got to catch a flight. Got to go. And yes, I'll send you guys pictures and videos from Napa. Yeah,
we're all going to love it.
Not a problem. And of course, anybody follow Dr. Aristotle on Facebook. It's literally Dr. Aristotle. He's got a personal page and a business page. Follow him. Ask him questions. Bug the shit out of him, please. Okay. Let's see. Jared is saying, Andre, thank you for you and your doctor sharing this information. People only listen to doctors. This is perfect. Listen, for me, for Tammy and I, in our home, we have always done the opposite of society. Like there are no vaccines in our home. There are no antibiotics in our home. There are no anything like that in our home. We eat as much organic as possible. We raise the girls in a very specific homeschooled, travel the world, no sugar environment. They seem pretty badass. So for us, this conversation is so important because this, and then CBD, of course, we got into CBD because of the same reasons, but now to see on paper a graph that is, that shows the proof. I mean, it's freaking crazy. I'm going to bring in the other one. Bear with me, you guys, 1 second. Hang tight. Don't move. I'm going to look for this guy. Here we go. Check this out. So this is now the pie chart of the graph.
Right. It's an integrated score. It takes all the highs, the lows, the splits that I mentioned earlier.
Insane.
And so when you look at the top score, your original, you were at 45%. Now, you know, that's very low. Okay.
Okay, so when do you get concerned? Like it's this number, it's like holy shnikes, there's a problem. Houston,
Well, when it gets down below 71%, then we have concern.
Oh, so 45 was a concern.
Yes.
So you never told me. You didn't.
We're doing a test. I can't.
Hey, listen to me here.
So then we do it later. His score jumped up to 81%, and just one meridian out of sync. This gives us a numerical value that allows for the progress, to see how you're doing, to see what's happening.
It is incredible.
And we can see here, again, from 45% to 81% is fabulous. Robin, are meridians the same as chakras? Aren't they energy pathways?
Ooh.
Very good question.
That's good.
I like that.
Oh, go ahead.
The meridian system courses through the chakras, so there will be an effect on both sides in terms of one will affect the other. And what was the other? Aren't they energy pathways? Yes, the chakras are more energy centers, whereas the meridians themselves are the pathways that feed through the chakras.
So August is saying she wants to meet you, and she's married, so it's not that kind of meet. But this is August who does the thermography with her mom. So she was on that live.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I know and Doc already knows about you.
Everybody that saw these results need to watch that.
The thermography, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you can get a full array of what testing's been done, because again, it's non-invasive, and to see the results like that are absolutely fabulous, especially from a science point of view. To see the inflammation drop like that it was incredible. Yeah, it was really good.
And it's amazing because, again, for me, my brain is business, so I want to see facts. I want to see numbers. So that's why the thermography, it's like before and after. Cool, got it. That works for me. To tell me that, oh, your inflammation is going to go down, show me. And now to be able to see it, and now to be able to see the graphs from Dr. Aristotle, oh my God. For me, it's priceless. And now we can have a conversation with people in the CBD world and the CBD business of, hey, look, we have facts. It's not just, yap, yap, yap. It's like, here's a graph. And you now can perform this test on anybody.
Well, because, it's common patients. Generally, the patients that come into the office, they've tried everything. Nothing else has worked. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go.
Yeah.
We measure the system. We see the weaknesses, and integrating the CBD and integrating, other treatment protocols. Again, we're looking for the complete picture to stimulate that power that made the body.
That is incredible. I want to ask you something, because you said the inside knows what to do, not the outside. Then I have a thing where I say, if you don't go within, you go without. What kind of, and then you said everything's energy, because you're testing nothing but energy. Where do thoughts come into play?
Well, thoughts create things.
Boom!
Thoughts are going to be the
amazing
primary influence in the body. These thoughts we have, I mean, the science is there, recent science, showing how meditation has an effect on our thinking. And when what was the, he used to say stinking thinking. He had the water pump when he was lecturing. He passed away years ago. I can't remember his name. Very famous.
Wayne Dyer?
Along those lines. I can't remember. Anyway, he would talk about the thinking process and how important that was. And then it always seems to be out there, but now science is coming back because we have these tools to measure the process. So if the thinking is going to affect the cell, whether you have emotion attached to that thinking, that's where the problem comes in. If you have a strong emotional reaction to a negative event, you're going to stimulate almost an addiction to where you're going to create, or you're going to see those types of events and create discourse in your body.
Oh my God.
And that discourse is going to show up at the cell level. I'm going to find it on the meridian graph. And then that's where illness and sickness will eventually result.
So for those of you that follow me, whether you're new or not so new to my conversations or stage or wherever, what he just said is exactly what I teach, preach, coach, with the exception of the graph. So these attachments, these addictions, I call them bricks. And what you just said was just pure magic. I'm now more excited and excitable. I'm just like, there's excitement going everywhere, Thomas.
I think they sense it. Look at these
I
comments.
just called you Thomas. Okay, now, thoughts create things. Yep, thoughts become things. Makes sense. Just August just got done meditating. This game changer. So,
and the other step, go deeper, is we're affecting the genes on the genetics of the body are going to be affected, because if you have a family history of an illness, and that gene is like a light switch. You want to turn on that cancer, you want to turn on that heart disease, or you want to keep that light switch off. It depends on your environment. And we're getting into epigenetics.
Oh, yeah.
The science of epigenetics.
Love epigenetics,
right?
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother field. But we can affect the healing process. And when I was paralyzed, I was sitting there in my wheelchair. When I got home from the hospital, I just had tears coming out of my eyes. And I did not know what to do. And I had all this experience. Right. I was overwhelmed by so much fear and the emotional component attached to it. If I stayed on that course, I would have been activating, it was an autoimmune issue. I would have been activating more and more and more of it. I would have never gotten out of it.
So what you're saying is what I say, but I think we're saying the same thing, that of course thoughts become things, but what you focus on, you're going to get.
Yes.
And especially when you give it emotion, which is the true antenna.
Do things, watch things, movies, whatever, that inspire you, that bring that tear of inspiration. Yep. You're going to activate the healing response. Now, again, too much emotion in any direction is not healthy.
Yep.
All right. You've got to stay in that neutral range, and anything that will help you do that, including the CBD, all right, is important, so that again, your body can set the stage for that power that made the body.
So let me ask you guys a question now, because again, this is social media, and we want to have a conversation. What has CBD done for you thus far? Drop the comments, please. Let's talk about what it's done for you. And then maybe you can take some of the things that people are working on and maybe talk about them from your perspective. Because so far we're going to obviously talk about CBD, but how can you make things better by applying your stuff to these situations? Make sense?
When you strengthen, the key is to find the weakness in the body. When you just take a shotgun approach, you don't know if you're down the right path. I mean, you're taking a flight. You chose the destination, you chose the right plane, you have the right amount of fuel that's going to go. That's targeted traveling. So imagine if you just said, let's just take the next and see what happens. Who knows where you're going to end up? Again, that's the key when you do the healing approach.
It's funny because we talk the same language. I talk about the same thing. It's like, all right, cool. Let's say you want to go to New York, Empire State Building. But you don't check GPS. You don't know how long it's going to take to get there. You don't look at a map. You just start driving. I hope to God I make it.
Yes.
Same shit.
That's very
amazing.
Common. That's common.
Dr. Aristotle, everybody.
How much more time do we have so they know?
We have 8 minutes just to be specific. So look here. So let's begin with CBD keeps me moving. This is Joanna. Mary saying, regulated my mood. Hubby likes me more. Not as grouchy. So, okay, talk about that. Where does mood come in?
So mood is going to be a result of, it could be many factors in the biochemistry of the body. It could be a hormonal change. It could be nutrient deficiency. Then it could be the environmental issue, the stress that's going on. But the word regulated is appropriate, because if you're going to regulate something that's bouncing out of control and you can find that balance, just like we saw on the graph with the green bars, that's a normal meridian. And when we regulate or we balance it, then the body can start healing. Then you can start having the right amounts of hormone release. You can start having emotional harmony is what you would have.
Got it.
And if somebody is, this is what happens. If somebody's not missing a component that's needed, and let's say they take the CBD, and if their system didn't need it, you ever notice sometimes people say, I don't feel anything, I feel the same, this didn't help. Well, that's because their body did not need that. Okay? It's not because it doesn't work. It's always interesting to me how sometimes people will say, oh, I tried that, it doesn't work. Well, that's because your body didn't need it.
So it'll just piss it out?
Well,
sorry,
in terms of detoxification,
urinate.
Yeah, in terms of detoxing the system and so forth. That's why it's important not to just quit when someone didn't get the results that they needed. That just
so I have a few questions there, but I don't know if my questions are important right now. Let's go for let's see here. Foot pain, relieved foot pain caused by inflamed tendon at the bottom of my foot.
Excellent. So if we did a meridian evaluation, I would want to see exactly what meridians were imbalanced going through your foot. Then I could target that particular meridian. And there's many ways. I use laser, and there's other types of things that are used that are non-invasive. And then you started using the CBD, which created the harmony there.
We haven't talked about one of the coolest things that he does. He's actually an acupuncturist. Like, he's a licensed acupuncturist, but he doesn't use needles. He uses freaking laser beams.
Needles are historic.
That's the past. It's history. They're gone, archaic. Laser.
Yes.
What? Please talk. That's a big one. Talk about that, please.
Well, the laser has been around. It was invented many years ago in terms of its use, but I've been using, I was one of the first to use lasers in California. And it's fantastic. It's called laser acutherapy. It's not acupuncture. Nothing's being punctured. The treatment's a lot quicker, easier, more comfortable. Some people do like needles, and then I refer them to people that will do the needle. But the laser is a fantastic way because you're using photons of light to stimulate the energetics of the body, which is very, very powerful.
Did you just hear that? I mean, that's deep. That is deep, because everything that we are is vibration from everything we talk about. This whole universe is nothing but vibration that manifests itself into sound and light, right? We're in a binary system. You got positive, negative, light, dark, etc.
So using light, light. So some of the homework, I give a lot of homework to patients. I want them dependent on themselves and their body to do the healing. My job is to get it back on track, but I'll send patients home with a red light laser and tell them to utilize that on specific meridian points, along with the CBD, to enhance their healing process. Because they're at home, I can't see them every single day, and there's no reason for that when they can do the things at home.
Just incredible for me. Let's see here. August, it also helps me manage symptoms of autoimmune. So that it
I understand that.
My day.
I understand autoimmune 100%. It paralyzed me. And that's an immune system gone rogue. Right?
Incredible, yeah.
It's like watching a movie and the immune system kicks in and just starts
taking off. Let me ask you a question. What if back in the days where you were paralyzed, you had CBD?
Oh, it would have been dramatic.
My God.
Because seeing the meridian system balanced like that, I would have been able to tap in to accelerated healing. Because it took me a while of trial and error of a lot of different things. And that's how, what I do now is what works for me.
Wow.
And so integrating this now, people are at a more of an advantage than I was.
I'm just going to keep saying wow, because I'm speechless. Whew. All right, so let's see here. Great stuff. Bam, bam. People don't get how CBD can help so many different things. I started saying it fills a gap in our body's communication system, and then our body can move towards homeostasis on its own.
Yep.
Look at that. That means it brings balance to the part of your body that needs it. That's why it does different things for many people. You agree with that?
Very well said.
You like that?
Very nice. That was Robin. Okay.
Hi, Robin. Good job, Robin. You got thumbs up. Where am I? Here. Thumbs up. So there's Mindy Beckish. What's up? Great info. Can we clone the doctor so we can have him in Hawaii? Yes, actually.
We're in the process?
Yeah, we're talking about that. But what can we say? We're working on stuff. We're looking to do something that's fun and exciting that people can use his technique all over the world. But that's later time. All right, so it is 11:12 Pacific time. I think maybe the last topic is this, because we got a little bit into nutrition when we talked about the mood, and maybe somebody gets anxiety and somebody gets a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But you brought up nutrition as being a factor. why and how.
Right. Well, nutrition's a factor, but what happens a lot of times, people walk into the health food store and they look around. What do you take? It's just like, what kind of CBD oil should you take? It has to be targeted. Nutrition. What's missing in your nutrition? So blood tests are done.
Okay.
And I can identify, not just in terms of the blood test, this is missing this, this, and this. But it's like a puzzle, because certain enzymes, certain reactions, some amino acids, some this, that, and we put the puzzle together and I get a picture of exactly what's missing in your body. Because we're going to maintain what you're doing, what's strong, and we're going to strengthen what's weak. And that's just one of the pillars that support the building. It brings the body back into homeostasis.
So there's no such thing as like you have to be vegan, you have to be vegetarian, you have to eat meat, you have to. People are different, body types are different.
I see so many different blood tests on all those types that you mentioned, and they're missing certain components and they're sick. And it's not a matter of just guessing, well, I do this, do that. Sometimes I have people that they don't eat meat at all, but they're missing specific nutrients. And some are not. Some are balanced. Everybody's different. And so we need to, targeted approach is the best way. But when you integrate the CBD, especially when we see these results, it's laying a foundation. It's a foundation of the healing process. Again, it's affecting the body, which is allowing the body to do what? To heal itself.
To do what it's built to do, right? Because that's its natural state.
Mother Nature takes time. And what's happening now is everybody is so used to getting their voicemails immediately, get the message through text immediately, get that delivery within the same day or the next day. Well, the body's healing response, it takes time for Mother Nature to do the job, because we're not adding chemical, we're adding natural types of ingredients and through the healing process to really let that body take off and accelerate the healing process. Everybody's different. Some people may take a few months, a few weeks. It took me a couple of years. And if I wasn't patient and I had jumped into the other types of things that were there, I would still be in my wheelchair talking to you right now with that little handle that moved me left, right, forward, and back. And that is it. And then if I had lunch, you'd have to feed me.
Wow.
Because that's what it was like.
Wow.
So, being able to move and move around, I'm grateful every day. And that's one of the powerful emotions of gratitude to calm that system down. So take all of these tips, put them into a healing process, or people you know, loved ones, and you're going to be amazed and you're going to be shocked as to what you find.
Incredible. So everybody, you know where to find Dr. Aristotle. It's draristotle.com. Facebook, Instagram, it's Dr. Aristotle. You'll find him on both platforms. His book is on Amazon. What's the name of the book again?
Change the Way You Heal.
Change the Way You Heal. And as you guys know, this is the show called The Hempibition, every single Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific. If you have anybody out there that you feel I should interview on this show, that will be a podcast very shortly here, please send their information to me. And it could be anywhere where CBD has affected some kind of sector of life. And it could be on the business side, it could be on the medicinal side, it could be on the production side, it could be on the farming side. There needs to be a phenomenal, powerful story around CBD and what we are doing today called the Hempibition. And I use the Hempibition because I'm piggybacking off the Prohibition, where it only ever happened one time in history. It'll never happen again. This is it. This is the only time in all of history where the Hempibition is happening. So thank you guys for joining us. You know the rules. Smash the heart button. Go for the tags and the shares. Drop a comment right now as to your biggest takeaway from Dr. Aristotle. And of course, watch Party, because that's where the party is at. It makes you the authority figure, and you can have a conversation with your audience based on the video you just watched. With that said, mwah, mwah. Love you guys. Tell me you love them for the love.
Love you. See you next time.
Boom! Dr. Aristotle, everybody. Peace out. I'm going to Napa.